been the loudest one. She's the one that's has been has the axe to grind. And I think when you come across somebody, when you deal with somebody like Cardi, who is still pretty raw in the industry, she's learning all this stuff as she goes, and a lot of stuff's happening at the same time, from having a child to being married to having this all done in the public eye, and then having someone talk shit to you, whereas where you came from, like those are straight up, declaration of war.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you see somebody, I don't care if you in a fucking Vera Wang, or a champion sweatsuit. If I tell you when I see you, I'm going to see you. Not everybody just talks like that. Like there's going to be somebody that you come across one time that really means what they say. And I think that the fact that Nicki wasn't involved in that, she wasn't trying. She was like, oh, I'm standing right here. I'm not going to get involved with that. Like, but then you shouldn't be. You need to keep your mouth shut. And I think that's a lesson for people in general. If you're not prepared for all the smoke that comes along with, talking shit about somebody or shading everybody, then you should keep it to yourself. There's too many people, and Nicki's older than both of us. Talking like that, she should know better. Maybe she's been in the game too long that she thinks that these Hollywood people are just going to keep it like that.
I don't know what she thinks.
I don't know what she thinks, but like maybe she could be on some shit lately. I mean, she doesn't act like somebody who is of sound mind and body.
Yeah, and my thing with that too is because you made a very good point. Like for the most part, Cardi has not responded to a lot of what's been said and done to her by Nicki, right? So like she had a kid in the public eye. She was suspected to have been cheated on, and that was plastered all over the place, and everybody was talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at the amount of stuff that she's done or had to go through in the public eye, while one receiving shade about it by Nicki and several other people, and two, all these other industry sites and everybody talking about, old boy possibly cheating or not cheating.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what somebody's going through. So, like, when she said, I mean, I wouldn't have ever taken it as a joke. When she said, when we see each other, something's going to have to be done about it. Like, you might have to take that for exactly how she said it, because
you better be ready for the smoke.
Yeah, because for one, she hasn't said anything for the most part, and two, she is raw calm currently.
Yes.
So
yes,
I mean, if you're not about that life, you might want to back down on the rhetoric a little bit. But I mean,
and another point you said though was about like talking about kids. Like, everyone says that Drake deserved Pusha telling all his business and spreading all the rumors, because he mentioned Pusha's fiance.
Yeah.
So you start mentioning somebody's kid, and that's why there was the stuff about Jay Prince saying, "All right, this is about to get messy." Because you start mentioning people's families. Not everybody can take that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, personally, I don't think nobody should have to take that shit. You start mentioning my kid. You mentioned my fiance. I might let her have you. You mentioned my kid. She is a mitigated factor.
Yeah. You're like, I'm in the business, not them.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, now I really gotta have you, because kids have a level of innocence to the point where they don't even understand what's going on, and they being brought into something that not only can they not comprehend, but had nothing to do with them in the first place. And if you want to go there, you better damn sure make sure you're ready for the smoke that follows. So
the way that social media is set up, that you might not want your kid's name out there because you see how people can find information about everyone. You don't want your kids being drawn in this mess, and then they're being the object of ridicule, because that's something that's going to follow them the rest of their lives.
Yeah, and I mean at the same time, especially with how Drake handled it, like all right, you know what, and what he handled it classy in the end, but I almost would have rather wanted to hear what he had to say, because we might be talking about some careers differently. at this, I mean, we really might be, because first of all, Pusha was like, all right, I feel like he owes us answers. First of all, if it coming to a kid, he don't owe you shit.
Not a damn thing.
All right, I mean, Yeah, he made a kid with a porn star, whatever. Does that kid know it was made by a porn star? Has no freaking idea. But
and we don't care, really. Let's not act like we all care what he does.
Exactly. And on top of that, I mean, it's probably hundreds of us, including probably Pusha, that probably wanted to hit the chick. I mean, somebody has seen the videos. I mean, somewhere. So that could.
How do we know that he didn't?
Exactly. That could be hate as much as it was, a shot. But either way, if you're gonna bring the kids into it, you kind of got to be prepared for what follows. And if you're not, then you probably shouldn't go that route. But it is what it is.
People just have to understand that, we're in the era right now where you can talk a great deal of shit about someone to them without being in front of them, Yeah. And I don't think we've had that. We've never had that before. Like you can be the toughest guy in the world to a bunch of strangers.
Yeah.
And those strangers will never know what happens if you ever cross paths with that people. But there are some people that you have to cross paths with at some point.
I mean, if that's what it takes, that's just what you got to do. But I feel like we also in that age too, where people talk junk just because they don't feel like they're gonna cross paths, right? So like they say stuff. We got the keyboard bullies and everybody else that say stuff on tracks and all this other stuff because they feel they're not going to be in a situation to have to deal with it. And if that's how they feel, all good and well. But when it come around and actually happen, then you had it coming.
Yeah, you have to be prepared for that other party to be like, all right, what's good? Like, I'm not trying to talk no more.
Yep. And
some might be like, hey, I ain't trying to see it right now. Like you got it. Some might be like, nah, fuck that. Let's run that.
Exhibit A. Like, I just say that because like I'm not even a reactionary person. I mean, I feel like I can say the same thing about you. Like, we're not going to just pop off unnecessarily. Like that just ain't us. And if I done let something build, like I've been sitting back marinating on it, thinking about it, I correct myself. I might not be like, what's good? I might be sitting somewhere with a long scope at the end of something else. You know what I mean? So like,
people think that you're joking.
Smoke will be real. So I'm like,
you're not joking.
Yeah, I mean, like that's kids and everything, man. And like everybody popping off, and like we're in that age now where people get cyber bullied and people want to be, hidden races and all this other stuff online. And then we're also getting to that age where people naturally are becoming smarter and smarter on tech. It don't take as much as it used to find out who you are and where you at and where you live at. So I'm like, all right, me personally, I don't respond to a lot of stuff just because I don't feel that it's necessary. So when I respond,
it's a problem.
There's a problem.
Please believe it's a problem.
Because I mean, that's the other side of it, right? So like as a parent, I don't feel like I should respond in a way that reflects negatively on me to my son, right? So like I don't feel like I should do anything that I wouldn't be like, all right, Adonis, go and do that. So like if I'm being hauled off in handcuffs for something I know I've done, I want to be able to look at my son and be like, all right, I did it because of this, and this. And later on, even if I'm spending a life sentence, he put in that situation, he can make his own educated decision. But at the end of the day, he gonna know like, well, there's principle, and there's there's what needs to be done. And
that's an interesting point you just brought up. How do you teach your son how to handle cyberbullying and people that talk that kind of shit, whether it's in your face or online, because it's not an easy thing, and especially today's day and age where people are even quicker to pull out a strap.
All right, so this is a tangent. You know what I'm saying? We off on another sector here now, but I'm gonna go with this for a couple of good reasons. So two things. One, two incidents. I'll caveat this by saying I live in Florida. Let's make sure we put that caveat out there. So there ain't none
Florida.
Exactly. So none of this is unexpected. So, first incident, talked to my son one day. Apparently some little kid, not at his bus stop, but the following bus stop, brought a machete to the bus stop.
What?
Yeah. Threatening kids, waving it in kids' faces, all kind of stuff, right? Granted, we've only been in school down here about 2 months. So yeah, fortunately, one of the kids' parents was a cop. So that didn't turn out well for them. But at the same time, like, me and my son talked through it. He's been around weapons. People that know me know that. But he's also very aware of what weapons do, don't do, how they should be handled and not handled, and how he should act when faced with one. So in that specific situation, played out perfectly fine. I brought that up because there's a big difference between being threatened with a weapon or being bullied at the end of any weapon or just being bullied. Luckily, after talking through it, I wasn't too concerned because I always teach around here, like, life limb first. Your obligation isn't, for him at his age, his obligation isn't to necessarily stand on his principles or morals. I'm not telling him to sway. I'm telling him to come home to me. And I'll take care of the rest. You know what I mean? So and that's a hard lesson to learn when he watches a father that for no reason whatsoever will sway on his principles and morals. I'm giving you leeway to sway on your principles and morals to live. I'm not saying I would necessarily do that. So fast forward, more recently in a class at school, we got a mixed class of 6th through 8th graders. We got a little 8th grader that's trying to pick on him because he's a 6th grader. The little kid coming up, resting his arm on top of my son's head and whatnot. And my son addressed the kid directly, addressed the teacher directly before it went further than that. And just like I told him then, and I subscribe the same thing to anybody's kid. I'm like, first of all, because he first came to me, he was like, I think I want to change course. I want to get out of this class and go to something else. We discussed why, whatever. I was like, cool, that's what you want to do, fine. But don't change because of this individual. Here's what you do. And here's what I'm authorizing you to do. If he does it again, you let him get them hands. I'm not saying you gotta win. I'm saying
but you gotta let him get the hands.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying you put hands on this kid directly because first of all, if you don't let the teacher know, and the school is aware, and he informed me that the kid had already had some other disciplinary issues. I'm like, that's fine. Let the kid do whatever he want to when it comes to anybody else. He put hands on you. You let him get them hands, and then I come up and I address them teachers. And once I address them teachers, I'm not addressing them just because I want them to know the situation shouldn't have happened. I'm addressing them because I know the next meeting that we need to have, that we are going to have, per my request, is going to be with me, this kid's parents, and their kid. And I'm going to address them directly in the presence of whoever the school feels is available. And I will let them, the principal, the teacher, the police that's on duty, all know this kid touches my son again, smoke will follow. And that's just how it's got to be. Because you raised a delinquent is what you did.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
yeah.
I didn't raise a delinquent. I didn't teach my son to go out and start or provoke violence or bullying or any type of incident. I have taught him to finish it, and I have taught him in any situation if that is the case, I 100% got your back. I don't care how the school feel about either of us. Because there's some situations where you're going to do the right thing and they still going to make you out to be the villain. And I'll tell you what, that's when it becomes a situation between me, my son, the school district, the superintendent, and my lawyer. We can play this however it want to be played. But luckily for my son, he knows and understands not only what he should do, but how far I am willing to go to back him if he is right. So now that's a huge caveat. If he is right and justified. I'm not backing you in any situation. You bully a kid and they beat your ass, you done got your ass beat because you was bullying. That's all there is to it.
You deserve them hands.
And then you might turn around and get your ass beat again because you was bullying. And I didn't teach you that.
Yeah.
Right?
We're going to raise no bullies.
Exactly. So, for me personally, and that's another reason why I feel it's a big deal in this situation, because we're in the cyber age where at some point Cardi's kid may be able to go back and view this incident. And if that is the case, what she going to see is, honestly, the way I see it, her mother stood on principle. All this stuff happened up until this point, and it didn't come to a point of actual escalation to the point where it got physical. But now you done brought my kid into it. So before, you know what I'm saying, before this kid is even old enough to understand,